Welcome back to the India HR Dialogue Podcast. We're in for a treat today with the Executive Read. It's our special segment where we dig into some really powerful ideas from books that can totally change how you see things. If you love these deep dives, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future episodes. Today we're going to be exploring Rhonda Byrne's The Secret. I'm sure you've all heard of the law of attraction. But get ready to go way deeper than just good vibes only.
Yeah, The Secret really does go beyond just thinking positive. It gets into how our thoughts actually shape our reality and how we might be attracting things we don't want without even realizing it.
Okay, so imagine this. You're totally convinced you're going to bomb a presentation at work, and then what happens? You totally mess up your words. The Secret would say that's not just bad luck, that's the law of attraction doing its thing. Your thoughts actually influence what happened.
Exactly. It's like you wouldn't plant tomato seeds and expect to get cucumbers right. Your thoughts are kind of like those seeds. The Secret shows us how to plant the right seeds, thoughts that match up with what we actually want.
So how do we break free from attracting things we don't want? Like that presentation flop.
Well, one of the first things The Secret talks about is this don't want epidemic. By focusing on what we don't want, like debt or illness or loneliness, we actually give those things more energy and end up attracting them. It's like we're sending out a cosmic order for exactly what we're trying to avoid.
So it's like we're putting up this big "don't deliver here" sign on the very thing we don't want to get.
That is a great analogy, and that's why The Secret really encourages us to become these pioneers of positive thinking, to consciously shift our focus to what we do want.
Okay, so instead of stressing about debt, we should be picturing ourselves as financially abundant.
Exactly, and that's where this idea of thoughts as magnetic frequencies comes in. The Secret says our minds are like these transmission towers, sending out our thoughts into the universe. And the universe is like this giant antenna, picking up those frequencies and responding.
That reminds me of that story in the book about Robert, this student who was dealing with harassment at work and crippling performance anxiety. By shifting his focus from what he didn't want to his desired outcome, a respectful and supportive work environment, he was able to completely turn his situation around.
What's so powerful about Robert's story is it shows us that the law of attraction isn't about pretending negative things don't exist. It's about choosing where we put our energy and attention. He didn't ignore the harassment. He used it as fuel to visualize the positive change he wanted to create.
So we're not just talking about wishful thinking. We're talking about deliberately choosing thoughts that line up with our goals and what we want.
Right. And that's where this idea of make-believe comes in. The Secret says we should act as if we already have what we want, to feel the joy and the gratitude and that sense of accomplishment, as if it's already ours.
The book gives this amazing example of a man who manifested a really unique feather just by visualizing it. He held that image in his mind with such clarity and belief, and guess what? Within days, he found that exact feather. It really shows you the power of belief and how important it is to feel the reality of what we want to attract.
And speaking of feeling, The Secret says our feelings are like instant feedback from the universe. They tell us if we're on the right track or if we need to adjust our thinking. If you're feeling down, it's a sign to shift your focus, to tune into a more positive frequency.
Like those check engine lights in our cars.
Yeah.
Negative feelings are a signal that something needs attention, like we need a little tune-up in our thinking.
Exactly. The Secret uses this great metaphor to illustrate this. It compares the universe to a genie who always says, "Your wish is my command."
I love that analogy. It makes the power of our thoughts seem so real. But if the universe is a genie, and our thoughts are the wishes, how do we know what actions to take to make those wishes come true?
The Secret acknowledges that action is often necessary. But it's not about forcing things or struggling in a way that drains us. It emphasizes the importance of inspired action, those actions that feel effortless and joyful, like they're being guided by intuition.
It's like when you get this sudden burst of inspiration and everything just clicks, you're in the zone, and things just seem to fall into place without any effort. The Secret says those moments of inspired action are often the universe's way of steering us toward what we desire.
And that's where gratitude becomes like this powerful catalyst. The Secret says that appreciating what we already have actually amplifies the frequency of abundance and attracts even more good things into our lives. It's like sending a thank you note to the universe, recognizing the blessings we already have and opening ourselves up to receive even more.
I'm thinking about that gratitude rock story from the book. It's about this person who kept a rock in their pocket. And every time they touched it, they'd use it as a reminder to feel grateful. That simple practice had a ripple effect, creating positive change in their life. and inspiring others to embrace gratitude as well. It shows you that even these small, consistent actions can shift our energy and attract positive experiences.
Speaking of attracting positive experiences, if you're loving this deep dive into The Secret, you can actually get even more insights by buying the book. You'll find a link in the episode description. And we'll be back after a quick break to explore even more practical tools and techniques from The Secret that you can use to create a life you love.
Sounds good. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the Executive Read. Before the break, we were talking about gratitude and how powerful it is for amplifying abundance. The Secret also gets into the power of visualization as another really strong tool for shaping our reality.
Oh, visualization has always fascinated me. It feels like everyone uses it, from Olympic athletes to super successful entrepreneurs. But I think a lot of people struggle with really believing it can work. I know I do sometimes.
The Secret acknowledges that skepticism. It actually suggests we all have a natural ability to visualize, even if we don't realize it. Try this. Close your eyes for a sec. And picture your kitchen. Don't overthink it. Just see if you can see it in your mind's eye.
Okay, wow. I can see my countertops, the fruit bowl on the table, even that little chip in one of my mugs. It's like I'm really there.
See, that's visualization happening right now. The Secret says that by vividly imagining what we want, we're basically planting those seeds in the universe. And those seeds will eventually become reality.
So it's not just daydreaming, it's about intentionally creating that mental picture of what we want to experience.
Exactly. And one way to make those mental pictures even more powerful is through vision boards. The Secret talks about Jack Canfield and how he manifested his dream home without even realizing it until years later. He had a picture of his ideal house on his vision board, and years down the line, he bought a house that was almost identical to the one on his board.
Oh, wow. That's incredible. It's like our subconscious is picking up on those visual cues and kind of guiding our actions and choices toward what we want without us even realizing it.
Exactly. The Secret then goes on to explore how we can apply the law of attraction to different parts of our lives, starting with finances. It highlights how focusing on lack, like worrying about bills, or feeling like we'll never have enough money, actually keeps us stuck in that cycle of scarcity.
Like that saying, what you resist persists. The more we focus on what we don't have, the more we just feel that lack.
Right. The Secret wants us to shift our thinking to wealth and abundance, even if our situation right now doesn't look like that yet. It even suggests some fun make-believe exercises, like pretending bills are checks, just to help us change how we think about money.
Oh, I've actually tried that. It might sound a little silly, but there is something powerful about stopping those automatic negative thoughts and replacing them with positive ones, even if it feels a bit forced at first.
Yeah, it's all about retraining our minds to focus on what we want instead of what we don't want. And that shift in thinking can actually start to attract new opportunities and new experiences.
So we talked about finances, but what about relationships? Can The Secret help us find love or make our current relationships better?
Absolutely. The Secret says that focusing on the good parts of a relationship, like appreciating your partner's strengths and feeling grateful for having them in your life, can really strengthen that bond. It's about shifting our attention from what's wrong to what's right.
It reminds me of that story in The Secret about the art director who was able to manifest a romantic relationship just by changing the pictures in his home. He replaced images of people alone with images of couples to visually show his desire for partnership.
That's a great example of matching our actions with our desires. He wasn't just sitting around hoping for love. He was actively creating a space that reflected the energy of what he wanted to attract.
So it's not just about our thoughts. It's about taking inspired action that supports those desires too.
Exactly. And those actions usually come from a place of joy and flow, like we're being guided by something bigger than ourselves.
Speaking of flow, The Secret really emphasizes the importance of letting go, surrendering to the present moment, and trusting that the universe is working things out for us, which can be tough, especially when we're going through hard times.
Oh yeah, letting go can feel so counterintuitive, especially when we're so used to trying to control everything. But The Secret reminds us that when we resist what we don't want, we often just make it stronger.
It's like when you try to hold a beach ball underwater. The harder you push against it, the more it wants to pop back up.
That's a perfect analogy. The Secret wants us to choose peace over resistance, to shift our focus from what we don't want to what we do want.
So instead of fighting against being sick, we should focus on visualizing ourselves as healthy. And instead of dwelling on feeling lonely, we should imagine ourselves surrounded by love and connection.
Exactly. And that's where this whole idea of an abundance mindset comes in. The Secret reminds us that the universe is full of infinite abundance. And it's actually our own limiting beliefs that stop us from experiencing it.
So it's not that there isn't enough to go around. It's that we sometimes block ourselves from receiving it with our own negative thoughts and beliefs.
Right. The Secret suggests that we're all connected, like we're part of one big energy field.
Right.
And when we understand that, we start to see all the endless possibilities around us.
It's like realizing we're all swimming in the same ocean of abundance. But some of us are clinging to our little life rafts instead of diving in and experiencing all the vastness and richness that's there.
Beautifully put. And that brings us to what The Secret ultimately says is the real secret to life: finding and experiencing joy. It encourages us to figure out what makes us truly happy and do more of those things, to make joy the guiding principle in our lives.
It's about creating a life that's not just successful or fulfilling, but a life that really lights us up, that makes us feel alive and connected to something bigger.
And that joy, The Secret suggests, is like this powerful magnet that attracts even more reasons to be joyful. When we align ourselves with joy, we open ourselves up to a world of possibilities and attract experiences that match that joyful energy. And we're back to the executive read. Before we got sidetracked, we were talking about how joy is the true secret to life, at least according to Rhonda Byrne. It's a pretty amazing idea that when we feel joy, we're not just making our own lives happier, but we're actually contributing to a happier world too.
It's true. Like our joy can have a ripple effect, spreading out and touching everyone around us. But how does The Secret connect joy with the law of attraction?
Well, The Secret says that when we're vibrating at a frequency of joy, we're automatically aligned with the energy of abundance and positivity, like we're tuned in to the universe's happiest radio station. And that's when we start attracting experiences that match that frequency.
So it's not just about feeling good for the sake of feeling good. It's about aligning ourselves with something bigger. That allows us to attract more goodness into our lives and into the world.
Exactly. And The Secret reminds us that we're not just physical beings, we're spiritual beings having this human experience. We're connected to this limitless source of power and wisdom. And when we tap into that connection, that's when we can really create a life that's in line with our soul's purpose.
It's like remembering that we're not just these little drops in the ocean, we are the ocean. We're part of something so much bigger and more amazing than we can even imagine.
That's a great way to put it. And that brings us to our 3 actionable points to help you start using the principles of The Secret in your everyday life. First, find one thing that brings you true joy and do it today. It could be something small, like listening to your favorite song, or spending time in nature, or even just talking to someone you love.
Okay, what's the second point?
Write down 3 things you're grateful for every single day. It's such a simple practice, but it helps shift your focus away from what you don't have and toward all the good things that are already in your life.
And last but not least,
Start visualizing your ideal life as if it's already happening. Feel all the joy and excitement. Imagine yourself living in that dream home, having that amazing career, enjoying perfect health, and being surrounded by loving relationships.
remember, you have the power to create your own reality. Embrace the principles of The Secret. Find your joy and watch your life transform. And if you want to explore these ideas even further, be sure to check out The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. You can find a link to the book in the episode description.
And don't forget to subscribe to the India HR Dialogue podcast for more deep dives into books that can help you unlock your potential and create a life you truly love.
Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.